Hey everybody, Joel Rather here from Hunt Hike Harvest Outdoors, bringing another H3O review to you today from our friends at Pnuma. And what we're going to go over today is their Bino Tech harness. And I've been searching for a long time to try and find the right form, fit, and function with the Bino harness. And this Pnuma harness to me has been something that is going to be a lifesaver for me in the field because it's going to fit all of those categories. That's going to help me operate better in the field. So let's dig into it. We're going to show you a little bit more about it. So as we start to get into some of the features of this Bino harness, we want to start by understanding how this thing is constructed. The most important aspect of this is that it is a waterproof material that is made out of a Cordura tactical nylon, so it has a very good durability, has a nice feel to it. There's some padding a little bit into the front of this, so it's going to keep your glass nice and safe. And from there, what I really like about this is its top-down functionality with how this lid works. And so a lot of the harnesses that I've seen and a lot of harnesses that I've used in the past have a bottom-up function to it. This functions in a top-down fashion. And so what it allows me to do is have easier access to my glass by allowing me to pull these directly out as opposed to fighting with the flap that comes up and always having to get around it, which is something that I've fought with in the past. And so I really like that feature. In addition to that, the thing that we have is this closure in this lid has 3 magnetic contact points here that allow this, as it comes closed, to shut and really offers a silent closure on here. So you're not snapping, you don't have clasps or buckles that you're going to make noise with. And so this allows you to be really nice and sleek, and it really holds to that very snugly. The second part of this that I really like is as we go inside of the harness itself is Pnuma actually provides you with a padding that goes into the bottom of the harness itself. It comes with 2 different forms of pads here, one that is a thicker piece than this, and then this thinner piece here. And realistically, the way that this operates is it's going to help me determine, based on the size of binocular that I'm actually going to use in the field, the proper depth so that I can still maintain getting this closure the way that I would like it. And so I've taken that thicker piece out and put this smaller piece in, which allows me to still get this nice closure in the harness itself. The thicker one would not allow that. Now, with saying that, the other thing that I always want people to understand is I didn't take that thicker piece and just throw it out. Because as this breaks in, as we get some usage out of this, I may still have a need for that. Maybe I switch Bino and that Bino has a different configuration. So I'm not going to throw that away. I'm actually going to put that in my gear, keep it handy just in case I ever do need it. Or potentially this padding itself wears a little bit and I may have some play in there where I may want to switch them out over time. So that's really critical to understand. Now, as I move on, some of the other features in this that come standard with this Bino harness is it's going to come with this accessory pouch. And it is attached with a MOLLE webbing on the side here. There's another MOLLE webbing on this side should you like to either interchange them to this side, or Pnuma actually sells additional pouches that you can buy online, and I believe those run about $25 on their website. But as I look further into this pouch also has a nice magnetic closure, and they've also included, if you'll notice on this, an opening here where if I open this all the way, they added another magnet on the outside. So this will stay open if I need it to. And then included with that, with my rangefinder here, they've added a nice bungee that connects to this. So should I be in the field and I'm glassing and all of a sudden I need to draw or I need to prepare for a shot, if I happen to drop that, I'm not going to lose this, damage my rangefinder, and it'll stay connected to the whole unit itself. So I really like that feature as well. And what I probably will do is, as you can see here in my old harness, I bought a separate MOLLE pouch. And this is a really nice little pouch. We're not going to necessarily talk about this. That would allow me to connect this side. And what I'll probably do is add another one of these Pnuma accessory pouches to this side so that I've got a little bit more uniform. I'm a little bit type A, so I kind of like things to look and feel very consistent. And I'll probably add another pouch to this side. But the cool part about this is they actually didn't stop there. They included another MOLLE webbing on the bottom side of this, where if someone wanted to, they could attach something else to here, another accessory or something else that they want to have readily available to them. At H3O, we kind of talked a little bit about this, like what are other things that I could potentially add to this piece? And a lot of different options came to mind. My first thought was, man, it'd be really great if I could potentially attach my bear spray canister to the bottom here, which would make it a lot more accessible. A lot of times I have my pack on and I don't like to have something else dangling off of me. And if I can attach my bear spray to here, it'd make it really nice and accessible. It's out of the way. It's not going to be really something where I've got to find it, and I've got it really handy just in case if something ever goes wrong. The other thing is, depending upon the kind of sidearm that you run, you may be able to utilize one of these MOLLE webbings or potentially even the bottom to attach your sidearm to this as well. And I know a lot of guys have done that in the past. I've seen guys that try to find a way to connect keeping their pistol handy as opposed to having it on their belt, or they don't have the proper attachments to connect it to maybe their pack or something like that. So that could be another option of something that you could put on this, and again, add some more functionality to the things that you want to put on the harness itself. Now, as we get into what I really like about this pack, in addition to not only the functionality, are a couple other just ancillary things that I really like about this pouch. One of them being this opening here in the back. There's a nice closure here in the back, zip closes. I typically like to carry an extra lens cloth in here, potentially even carry my license in here, because I know I'm always going to have this on. I'm always going to have it with me. A lot of times when we change out gear and things like that, I don't want to have to guess where I kept my tag. So I'll probably store my tag in this. And then they also have two side pouches on here. And these side pouches, we can keep one indicator here on this side. Sometimes guys will maybe carry more than that, but nice to have a space for that. And then included on this side is an actual lens cleaner in here as well. So this is attached to the unit. So I've got something I can access to make sure that my glass stays clean and stays dry. So that's a really nice feature. So now that I have the harness on, some of the things that I really like about the strapping in itself. Number one, of course, our binoculars have their own connection here. These are adjustable. Obviously, I can move these as I like in order to try and get to the proper length and depth that I want to be able to get to the glass itself. The second part is the actual harness in itself. A lot of these are made with just some basic straps and almost become an afterthought. And the thing that I really love about this is that they built this in with a nice webbing. There's some padding in the shoulder straps in itself here and across the back. And the way that it kind of Y's out on both sides, it really fits snug. And so I want to make sure that this thing is adjustable here on the sides. I tighten this down enough so that if I've got to lean over or move or anything like that, that this is going to stay with me. And this thing does an awesome job with that, because as a lot of you know, for us here in Colorado and a lot of other western states, we're climbing up and over timber. There's like matchsticks out in the forest. So we're doing a lot of moving around, and I don't want things to be flopping and not staying with me as I climb and navigate through the woods when I'm out on my hunt. And so this thing really checks a lot of those boxes, and I'm super excited to get this other pouch on here, get the rest of my gear kind of loaded up, and we're going to put this thing to the test as we start this spring, doing some of our activities this spring, and then as we get closer into September, when the elk season really starts coming upon us. Hopefully you guys like this video. We hope that it's helpful to you in your process. Maybe it's something that down the road might be a good purchase for you to increase or enhance your functionality as you go out into the field. We want to make sure that you understand that this Bino harness itself, along with everything at Pnuma, you can utilize the code H3020 at checkout. We're going to provide you with an exclusive link in the description below. Copy and paste that link into your browser. Go to checkout. Your first order, you're going to get 20% off your entire order. And we're super excited to offer that to everybody. It's a huge savings. This Bino harness runs about $100. So even just there, you're going to save 20 bucks on this harness alone. And if you buy anything else, it just continues to compound and add to the value of that. So make sure that you check that out. Also, like and subscribe to our page. We want to continue to bring you the best information that we possibly can from H3O, from leaders and those that we support within the field. And most importantly, find us on all of our social outlets at Hunt Hike Harvest. And hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.